Good morning. We hardly ever eat celery at our house. We make tuna from time to time. Usually celery will come into our house when we're having a holiday and we want to have something healthy on the snack tray. So this year we were in Aldi's and I was like, I have to get celery for the snack tray, but I want to use the end of it for my journal project. So I went over to the celery section and they had this celery, which is, whatever, non-organic, I guess. And they were so nice looking. And then they had a package of organic celery, which had 3 stalks or 3 hearts, I guess. Hearts? I don't know. 3 celeries with the ends on it. But they were dehydrated, so I couldn't bring myself to pick up that one. So we're going to just work with one. Let me get out some paint. I hate this drawer. Okay, that's good. Maybe purple would be cool. Oh, it's blue, I think. In case the other one's dried up. I'm missing that white. There's the purple. I like that better. All right. Okay, let me just go grab something plastic to mix on. Thank you. All right, I mix a little blue with white. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and come back to it. Maybe I'll do one more. Just right here. It's going to get a little muddy looking, but then we can come back and we can define where one flower starts and one ends. That's one. Let me see. I'm going to try and use a paper that I don't know what I'm going to try and do. Maybe I'll use the white side of the paper that's kind of rosy looking. So I'll leave that side the way it is. And what can I add to the purple to make it a different color? Let's do maybe some red. And maybe not even mix it so much, we'll see. Maybe we'll leave it swirly. Oh, it's getting a little brownish looking. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to make smaller roses. So I'm going to make sure I stamp all my big ones. And then I'll peel a couple of these back and it'll just be a smaller rose. So for that, maybe I want a pink. And I don't know if I have an actual pink or whether I need to make a pink. I probably need to make it. So I'll do that over here maybe. I'll do that on a new tray. Use this red. Hey Glenn, can you bring me one more Chinese food tray?
What is it?
Chinese food tray, can you bring me one?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool though? Trying to use enough that it makes enough of a surface to stamp into. I think this is just red. Okay, so I'm going to just try and get some of this off. Oh shoot, my coffee's going everywhere. Oh. Better drink some of that down. Oh well. All right, so maybe I will. Maybe this cracked off, so maybe I'll peel a couple of these off. So you can look and see like what size, how far down you want to go. I think I'm going to go to there. Oh, look at that. Nice. That's why we wash our veggies. Unless you want extra protein. Okay. Oh, this is a pretty bright pink. See, so the nice thing is you can see your coverage. Oh boy. Okay. So let's do this. These are very big, so it's going to be kind of a learning curve where I'm going to cut it. You know, these sheets are very big. If you knew what kind of sheet you were using, you could actually plan it a little better. I'm just kind of randomly doing this. I don't know if you can even see me. So, on there. So, I think the pink just looks fantastic. One there. Maybe one here. This is a nice one though, look. So, could you So, as usual, there's some drying time involved. Maybe I'll leave the front of that the way it is. And I can make these so I can cut them out. I'm going to wipe this down and I'm going to do something in teal. See, just give you a little sneak peek so then you can go around and or you don't have to, you know, and then you come out and you draw some leaves, etc. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more in a teal-ish. Maybe I'll do some mark making with the paint that's left behind. I could do that on some paper. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do maybe I'll stamp on a some text. How about that? I'm trying to make it large enough for the surface. I'm going to peel back a couple more stalks. Okay, so let me get a book. Well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to peel this back. To there. It's a lilac here. That's what I'm going to use. Note to self, peel your page first. Well, for best practice. Oh, this one's got some now I'm gonna have a lot of extra, and you know, extra's good. I just got to remember where they are and to use them, because I won't use all of these in one. Oh, this is pretty cool. Look at that. All right, that's it. Yep. Okay, I'll go a little bit smaller now. And then I can go back on some pages that I did and do smaller. So, let's say we did this one, right? I'll do a little blue. Like that one. And stick some blue in there. I like those. Maybe I'm on a strip of blue ones. They came out so nice. All right, everything's going to dry, and then we'll work with it. When we're ready to do more ephemera. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to just take all my extra paint and start putting it somewhere so that it's not wasted. Okay, so let's see. Could save this too if I need to. I doubt I will though. So here what I'm doing, sorry, I don't even know if you're on screen. Let me move everything up a little. So here I'm just making repeated patterns. And you can do that with anything. So I can switch this up and do like longer ones. I can do dots. I can do teardrops or blobs. That one's got something in it. There we go. Now, I remember the first time I showed those celery things to my kids. I didn't really have, it was a holiday, so everybody was around. And I wasn't set up with paints at the time, so what I did was I did have some spray paint hanging around, and I just sprayed a lot of spray paint in one area on a piece of paper. You know, went down the basement and did it, and showed them that. So, you know, you kind of use what you got to. Now, if you have a masterboard laying around, it's a good way to add something. Or I'll even show you something else. Okay, so that's that. And I'm running out of surfaces to dry things on. Anyway, that's just on the floor where I won't walk, supposedly. So this is a different journal I have. So if I have, let's say that I have a page where I just want to add a little something more. Not that one. Like this one here. I can just add a little touch. Now it's not necessarily going to be noticeable, but when somebody, or when you or anybody starts looking at this, your eye kind of, I call it matrices. It kind of goes around and finds all the common areas. It's kind of why when you're doing flower arrangements, you use 3 or 5 of something, because your eye looks for that. And so that would follow it around. Now I have all of this extra here, so I could even do that. So rather than having just trays and trays of unused stuff, put it somewhere. So here's what I was talking about with the masterboard. You can just add colors in. See how this is a similar color to this hawk? That's a common kestrel.
He's like in that brick.
Well.
Oh God.
What brick?
Like my daddy, the thing in a cage.
Oh. I'm thinking brick. All right, I'm just going to mess around with all of this. My stuff is almost dry and we can do something with it. I'm back. All right. You know, I think I'm going to start with something simpler than this. Let's look at this one. This one actually came out really nice. And let's put a clean sheet down so that the background is not all muddied. That's better, right? Okay. And here. All right. Now, I'm not quite sure what I want to make with these things, but in the meantime, I can try and make them look a little more defined. Now, if you've been watching, I am in the process of revamping and cleaning my craft room, which means that like even the most basic of things I cannot find. So please bear with me 1 minute. Okay. So all I'm going to do is flesh these out with different colors. So I'm going to do like this. See, that looks a little more rosy, right? Could do a little I think this is a green too. I'm scraping like this because I might maybe take some gesso or some paint and try and blend that a little more. Let's see, what colors do I have? Let me try this one. And over here where there's a space, you can put a leaf. Now it's going to be a shame when it's time for me to cut that up, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to keep going. Here's an orange. Let's see if I could do orange maybe on this one. Might make it stand out a little better. See? Maybe not. Maybe. I can't tell really. And you can definitely like draw some in where there's spaces. And I don't know, maybe use gray. Is this gray? No, that's green. Okay. Cool. I'm thinking it probably really doesn't matter what color you outline them in. I don't know. Maybe we should see. Let's see, so now in the middle here it's kind of muddied, so then you just make it up. So let's do this. I like how this one came out. Let's do this one. And I'm going to do it in black. And sometimes you just have to kind of remember what the celery looks like in order to fill in the spots where there's too much paint. Okay, let's see, put some green in there. Maybe put one of those buds. Maybe another green. So it remains to be seen how these will be used. But they will be used. Let me do these ones that are kind of nice, like not a traditional color. Let's see. Maybe I'll use red. So in this one, I'm just following the color that I'm doing. And it's not exact. So now I have to kind of look through all this mess to find the one that I want to work on. And it's just like a bouquet of flowers. You don't always just pick out. Sometimes it just looks like a mess. And my thought here is if I add watercolor here, this will all kind of bleed and fill those white spaces in theory. So you know what? Instead of watercolor, let's just try a little bit of acrylic white and see what happens to this one. Get my other stuff out of the way. Yeah, so let's do this one and see what happens if we add a little white acrylic to the watercolor. I'm using a brush that's kind of a little stiff. It's very dirty, but that's besides the point. I think I'm actually going to like it better just outlined. Although, look at that. That might be the way to use your hands. I have seen people stamp with potatoes. I mean, I've heard of it. I don't know that I've actually seen a person do it. I know it's been done. To me, I mean, you could do mark making that way. You could just do like carve little shapes in the flat end of a cut potato. And then just keep stamping. It's kind of good for kids because of the size of the potato and the motor skills. Oh, what do you think? I think you need some vines. Let's see. I don't want to pour any more out. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for now. I'm not going to make them into anything just yet. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope you can fit some creativity into your day as well. Take care.